Now, first of all, I just want to say I hope everyone had a great New Year's. Sorry, this video was actually supposed to come out in between Christmas and New Year's, but we had a bit of a COVID outbreak in the family and I just wasn't able to get it out in time. So yeah, first thing, I hope everyone had a great New Year's and welcome to 2022. Now, this video is going to be a bit of a chat. There's going to be no car content. It is just me talking about pretty much what happened with my year, 2021, outside of YouTube, really. Now, for those of you who don't know, my main job isn't YouTube, it is transporting cars. So that is what I do for a living. I move cars around the country on a transporter. Now, at various points last year, I did say that I was going to be hiring a driver to do that for me so I could concentrate more on YouTube. So yeah, in this video, I'm going to explain why I haven't really been concentrating more on YouTube. If you'd have noticed, probably the back end, well, most of last year actually, I've struggled to get more than one video out a week. Now, I'm doing this video because I get a lot of questions from you guys asking, I thought you were going to do YouTube full time. Why do you only do one video a week? I thought you were going to hire a driver to do all your driving for you. And I just thought I'd do this video as basically a bit of a breakdown of my life outside of YouTube last year. So you can get a better understanding of the person you're watching doing these videos, really. I guess it's always nice to know a bit more about the person that you're watching. And yeah, so I thought I'd do this video to explain pretty much what went on last year. I guess the best place to start is every YouTuber's situation is different. Now, some people may not have a girlfriend, have a wife, have any kids, have any financial responsibilities, no one that financially depends on them at all, which means maybe they don't have as many outgoings, which means they can afford to go into YouTube full time, and it's not a big risk whether you don't get paid much 1 month or not. So yeah, if you're in a situation with no financial dependence, then yeah, YouTube full time is a lot lower risk and it's something you can take the gamble on. And there's other people like myself. I have a wife, I have 2 kids, I have a 3rd one on the way. So I have a lot of people counting on me financially. So for me to then just jump into YouTube full time and hope that it works out with no kind of backup plan is a massive gamble, and it's one that I have been reluctant to take. Now, for those of you who are relatively new to the channel, transporting cars is my main source of income. It's a business that I started myself four-ish years ago now. Started it with a cheap 4x4 and a cheap trailer, and yeah, I've just progressed from there. Now, I mentioned at various points last year that I was going to hire a driver for me to take over some of the burden so I could concentrate more on YouTube. And that actually did happen. I did hire a driver, but it kind of had the opposite effect. So weirdly, I know pandemic, not many cars available at the moment, people not spending as much money, but I actually got busier last year, and as well as my driver doing some driving, I was out a lot of the year driving as well. So I basically had more to manage. So instead of just managing myself, I had to manage my other driver as well, and all maintenance and everything that goes with that. I know, yeah, it's great for business, but it's not so great for YouTube. But because I started the business from scratch myself 4 years ago, I'm finding it quite hard to let go, if I'm honest. I've built many relationships with customers over the past 4 years, and ultimately I'm one of them people, I don't like letting people down. I will often do something last minute, even if I don't want to do it, just because I don't want to let the customer down. I know it's a catch-22. If I did YouTube full time, I would be earning more money from YouTube, but at the minute, I don't think it's going to be enough to cover the loss from transport as well. And then there's the main reason I ended up working my arse off transporting cars last year, and that was because we moved house. Now, we were trying to move house the whole of last year. We got up to as far as exchanging, or the day before we were supposed to exchange on a house, it fell through. And then in the end, we have eventually found a house and moved in about 7 weeks ago. So there was a massive saga last year of trying to move house, which I don't think I actually probably mentioned. I think I only mentioned it the day we moved on Instagram. And that is where Boundary Security has kindly sponsored today's video. Boundary is a home security system that's controllable from your smartphone. It also integrates with your smart home devices. It's easy to install DIY or professionally, and is certified to Grade 2 UK and EU standards. With different monthly subscriptions available, starting from the free light version up to the full police monitoring version, Boundary uses cutting-edge Z-Wave technology which can provide security against jamming. The hub is mains powered with a battery backup. Boundary is controlled using an app on your phone, and you can create smart home routines such as if a door is open between set times, you can get Boundary to play dog barking noises through your Alexa or Sonos. And also, if you go on holiday, Boundary can set lights to come on at certain times so someone appears at home. And for some of us, the most important room in the house, for me, not at the moment, but one day there will be a supercar parked just there, I'm sure of it, and I'll be able to sleep easy at night knowing that my garage will be fully monitored by Boundary. Now, if you click the link in my description, you can go over to Boundary's website and you can choose or create your own bundle, and using my link, you can get up to a massive 45% off. Alexa, arm alarm.
Boundary's central hub is armed in stay mode. You have 45 seconds to exit.
And there we go, guys. I just want to say a massive thanks to Boundary for sponsoring today's video, and I've got about 35 seconds to get out and lock this house. So once again, thank you very much for sponsoring today's video. And if I had have jacked in transport, it would have been absolutely impossible for me to buy a house. And that's purely because I haven't been doing YouTube long enough to have a track record of being able to afford a mortgage. I think you need 2 years, and they take an average over those 2 years, and it's just not anywhere near enough. I mean, I have been doing YouTube now for it'll be 3 years, believe it or not, coming up in February. But I mean, two of those years, it was next to nothing, the income. So it is just, yeah, completely negligible, the amount. So it just wouldn't be able to be used towards a mortgage. And therefore, I had to use transport solely as a source of income, which is exactly why I had to just absolutely work my ass off driving. I think it was June, last year, where I worked like 15 hours a day, pretty much every day throughout the month, just because it was so busy and I had to do as much as possible to be able to afford the deposit and the payments on the new house. And another massive incentive for that was my wife as well. I just really wanted to buy her dream house. She pretty much does everything at home, so I am able to do what I do. So for me, it's like the best way to repay her is to buy her the house that she's always wanted. So yeah, massive shout out to her. She fully supports everything I do 100% and allows me to work 15-hour days, do YouTube like this. Also, we can have a better life for the kids as well. And there's clearly still a stigma around YouTube as well, being a reliable source of income, because when I was trying to find a mortgage, obviously I mentioned the fact that I earn money from YouTube, and a lot of banks just were like, nah, we're not going to accept income from YouTube. It's too spiky, and they just don't see it as a reliable source of income. So yeah, I found that actually quite difficult. So in the end, we just had to discount it completely and solely use transport. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's pretty much that in a nutshell. The house being the main reason, obviously the driver being hired, and then actually making it more difficult for me to be in the workshop. But I've still tried. I know I've struggled at times, but tried to get one video out a week to you guys. But there is a New Year's resolution. And my New Year's resolution isn't to jack in transport. As I've just said, I'm not now just going to say I'm going to jack in transport and YouTube full time. It is not. I mean, I plan to in the future. That is the ultimate goal, I suppose. But right now, it's just not going to work. So my New Year's resolution is actually just to have a bit more of a structure around YouTube. So this past year, it's been find as much time as possible to do a video. It's whatever I can get out quickest. It's do that, edit it, get it out to you guys. So there's not really been much of a structure, and it did frustrate me a lot of times because I know I can do better videos and more interest videos, but I just haven't been able to find the time. So I guess one of the main things I want to concentrate this year is just structure around my videos, make sure I've got a plan of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, just so the videos can be a bit more informative to you guys and a bit more structured, and you'll be able to understand the process of each build a lot clearer. And by doing that, I'm hoping that will increase my reach. And one of the main goals for me this year is to try and hit 100,000 subscribers. And to do that, I need some sort of structure. So yeah, 100,000 subscribers this year, guys. I'm gonna try my very hardest to do it. I'm going to try and get more videos out. I'm no longer going to look for work. Obviously, I don't need to buy a house anymore, so I don't need to work absolutely flat out delivering cars. So I'm no longer going to like branch out and look for work to do. So I'm only going to do the jobs that people ask me to do. So my existing customers, I'm just going to concentrate on those, and that inevitably will hopefully allow me a lot more time to do videos. Maybe two a week I'll probably try to start with, and if I find I have more time, then maybe up to 3 a week. But I'm going to aim for 2 a week. And my other goal is I want a supercar this year as well. in any form, whether it had been a straight one, just a nice one that I won't actually have to do any work to, I can actually enjoy the car, or if I can find a cheap one at an auction that's maybe got a bit of damage and won't be too bad to fix. I don't really care what form it comes in, as long as it's going to be a good deal. And yeah, I just want a supercar on the channel this year. So yeah, I hope that has answered a lot of questions, guys, mainly about what happened last year, because as I said, I did get a lot of questions, so I hope that answers a blanket response to you all. And yeah, the New Year's resolution for this year is to basically just concentrate more on YouTube, but be smarter with it, and yeah, try and hit that 100,000k subscribers. But inevitably, I will not be able to do it without the support of you guys. So thank you very much for watching Saving Salvage over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, however long you've been watching. It is much appreciated, and yeah, I want to thank you very much. So I hope everyone had a great new year. I will see you in a couple of days, hopefully, and I might just start things off with a kind of a garage update, because I've got 3 Golfs, an RS6, a Porsche that hasn't sold, and I do have that V10 in the corner as well. So I might just start the year off with a bit of a content update, and then what to expect going forward. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.